Let's talk about the lie you've been telling yourself, the one that says, if I just work harder, everything will get better. You're grinding, you're pushing, you're sacrificing sleep, social life and sanity, all for the promise of success. You believe that sheer brute force will solve all your problems. You see the gurus screaming, hustle, grind, sleep when you're dead, and you nod your head, convinced that more hours equal more results. But here's the terrifying truth nobody tells you. Hard work doesn't fix a broken mind. In fact, if your mental operating system is corrupted, hard work just accelerates the crash. You're trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand, and you're wondering why it keeps sinking. Today, we're going to expose the dark side of the hustle culture and teach you why healing your mind isn't optional. It's the foundation for any real, sustainable success. But before we deconstruct your entire belief system, do the one thing that actually requires clarity. Hit that subscribe button and like this video. It tells the algorithm that you're ready to play the inner game. Now, let's talk about why your effort might be wasted. First, let's define broken mind in this context. We're not talking about clinical diagnoses here. We're talking about the silent killers: chronic anxiety, self-doubt, perfectionism, constant comparison, inability to set boundaries, emotional regulation issues, and a pervasive feeling of being not enough. These aren't just minor character quirks. They are cracks in your mental foundation. You can paint over them with productivity hacks, but the cracks are still there, getting wider with every additional pound of hard work you pile on top. Think of your mind like a high-performance engine. If the fuel lines are clogged, the spark plugs are fouled, and the oil is sludge, can you just push the gas pedal harder? No. You'll blow the engine. You'll strip the gears. You'll end up on the side of the road, exhausted and confused, wondering why your effort didn't pay off. Hard work in a broken system simply magnifies the existing dysfunction. It doesn't create order, it amplifies the chaos. This is the toxic productivity loop. You feel inadequate, so you work harder to prove your worth. But because your mind is already compromised by self-doubt or anxiety, your hard work is inefficient. You procrastinate, you make mistakes, you burn out. This confirms your initial belief that you're inadequate, leading you to work even harder in a desperate attempt to compensate. It's a vicious cycle that drains your energy, destroys your relationships, and leaves you feeling more broken than when you started. You're trying to fill a leaky bucket by pouring water in faster instead of fixing the hole. Let's talk about perfectionism as a trap. Many high achievers suffer from this. You work hard, but you never ship. You tweak, you refine, you second guess, because your broken mind tells you it's not good enough. This isn't about quality, it's about a fear of exposure. A fear that if your work isn't absolutely flawless, you'll be judged, criticized, and ultimately rejected. So, you use hard work as an excuse to delay the moment of truth. You're working hard to avoid finishing rather than to finish. That's not productive, that's psychological self-sabotage. Then there's the boundary breakdown. A broken mind struggles with boundaries. You say yes to every request. You take on extra tasks. You let people walk all over your time and energy. Why? Because your self-worth is tied to external validation. You believe that if you say no, you'll be seen as selfish or lazy or ungrateful. So, you work hard on other people's priorities, neglecting your own needs. You're like a volunteer firefighter who puts out everyone else's fires while their own house burns down. Hard work without boundaries isn't dedication, It's self-abuse. Consider the role of chronic anxiety here. If your mind is constantly buzzing with what-ifs, worst-case scenarios, and intrusive thoughts, your hard work will be diluted. You'll be sitting at your desk for 8 hours, but only 2 of those hours will be genuinely focused. The rest of the time, your brain is fighting internal battles, simulating disasters, and worrying about things that haven't happened yet. You're physically present, but mentally absent. Hard work in this state isn't efficient, it's just sustained stress. You're paying full price for a broken product. And what about self-sabotage? This is where a truly broken mind can devastate your efforts. You work hard, you get close to a breakthrough, and then, bam! You suddenly find an excuse to quit, or you intentionally mess things up, or you engage in destructive behaviors. Why? Because deep down, your broken mind doesn't believe you deserve success, or it's terrified of the responsibility that comes with it. So, hard work becomes a long, elaborate setup for a self-inflicted punchline. You're running a race, but you're constantly tripping yourself at the finish line. The gurus tell you to push through, but if you're operating from a place of chronic exhaustion and emotional depletion, pushing through is just a fancy term for self-harm. You're not being resilient, you're being masochistic. Real resilience comes from a strong foundation, not from constantly patching up wounds with more effort. You can't out-hustle a broken nervous system. You can't out-grind chronic self-doubt. These are internal problems that require internal solutions. Think of it like building a house. Hard work is pouring the concrete, laying the bricks, putting on the roof. But if your foundation is cracked, your broken mind, no amount of hard work on the walls will prevent the house from collapsing. In fact, the more you build, the faster it falls. Your hard work isn't just ineffective, it's actively detrimental if the core isn't solid. You need to stop building and start repairing the ground underneath. The inner game is about recognizing this reality. It's about understanding that being busy is not the same as being effective, and working hard is not the same as working smart, or more importantly, working healthy. Before you add another task to your plate, before you promise yourself another all-nighter, you need to ask, am I working from a place of strength, or am I desperately trying to compensate for an internal weakness? So, what does fixing a broken mind actually look like? It's often the opposite of hard work, at least initially. It's about slowing down. It's about introspection. It's about building self-awareness. It's about setting boundaries. It's about processing unresolved emotions. It's about taking radical responsibility for your mental health. It's about realizing that sometimes the hardest work you'll ever do is to stop working and start healing. This isn't an excuse for laziness. This is a call for strategic self-care. It's about understanding that your mind is your most valuable asset. If it's corrupted, everything else fails. You wouldn't run a multi-million-dollar company with broken software. Why are you trying to run your life with a broken mind? You need to invest in debugging your internal code. That means therapy, meditation, journaling, proper sleep, healthy relationships, and learning to say no. These are not luxuries, they are non-negotiable foundations. Imagine if you spent just 20% of the time you currently spend grinding on actually repairing your mental foundation. Imagine the clarity, the peace, the genuine focus you would achieve. Your subsequent hard work would be 10 times more effective. You would be building on rock, not on quicksand. Your energy would be limitless because you wouldn't be fighting yourself all the time. Your decisions would be clear because your mind wouldn't be clouded by anxiety and doubt. The hardest truth to accept is that sometimes the solution to your problems isn't more effort, but different effort. It's the effort of facing your inner demons. It's the effort of prioritizing your well-being over external validation. It's the effort of acknowledging your vulnerabilities instead of trying to out-hustle them. This is the real hard work. This is the inner game. So, here's your challenge. Before you embark on your next hard work session, pause. Truly pause. Check in with your mental state. Are you clear, calm, and grounded? Or are you running on fumes driven by anxiety and self-doubt? If it's the latter, stop. For today, your hard work is to address one small crack in your mental foundation. Maybe it's saying no to an unnecessary request. Maybe it's taking an hour to journal. Maybe it's just sleeping 8 full hours. Prove to yourself that you value your mind more than superficial busyness. You've made it this far, which means you're ready for the truth. Most people would have scrolled away, looking for another hack to avoid this uncomfortable reality. You didn't. That's a win. Now, take that win and apply it. Comment, "Fix my mind" below to show your commitment to building a stronger foundation. Subscribe to the Inner Game if you're ready to stop pushing a broken engine and start building a powerful one. Now, go do the right work. Peace.